Hey guys, this is the Houston Outlaws post-game press conference. I'm Banny. This is Jake. This is Linkser. This is Muma. And let's get started.
How is everyone feeling about beating Boston? And are you guys ready to win stage 2?
We're feeling really good about beating Boston. That was the most hype we've ever been, I think, after a win. So that feels really good. As for stage 2, I think we're all ready to keep grinding it out, figure out the meta, and we'll keep staying on top, hopefully.
Question for Jake. What was going through your head when you were destroying Bird Ring with your bobbing and weaving on Soldier on Ilios?
Well, I know Birdring missed a really easy kill on me by going for the headshot on the flashbang instead of just right-clicking me. So I wanted to get in his head a little bit. So I solo ulted him and then proceeded to tactically crouch on his corpse. I think it's funny, though, that people think that when I do it, it's a sign of disrespect. Because for me, I would only ever do that to a player if I felt like I needed to get inside their head or I wanted to get any advantage I could. If I didn't think a player was very good, I just ignore them and move on. So for me, it's ironic. It's a gesture of respect, despite it being a little disrespectful.
How do you feel about the Optic fan base growing to love you guys so quickly?
Why don't you guys take this one?
You want me to do it?
Yeah. You were reaching out.
I mean, it just feels good to have such an amazing org with such an amazing fan base, this close behind us, backing us already this quickly. I think that we have a team that very quickly became very, I guess, fan favorites. Although a little bit polarizing at times, but I mean, it just feels good to have that backing right off the back.
Yeah, well, what I would add to that was just that it's super cool to have this much support from the Optic fan base and just, and from in general, all the fans, wherever they came from, because I think we're a team that's very authentic. People kind of show their personality a lot or as much as they can. There's nobody on the team who I feel like is really different when they're in public versus private spheres. So I think it's cool that we're able to be ourselves and authentic in the content we do and the games we play. And still have the fans behind us.
What has Muma named his floof lion?
It was a bit of a struggle to come up with a name for it, but I ended up going with a Weenstun, Wenstun. Just because it sounds like Winston. It's a lion instead of a monkey. It looks so derpy. And I had to come up with a name for it because I wanted to put it on Twitch,
That's a good name.
That's a good name.
I thought it was pretty good too, yeah. Weenstun. I'm Weenstun.
What was your favorite moment in stage 1?
Favorite moment? My favorite moment was beating Boston. It felt really, really good.
For me, it's a close call between beating Boston, which is for sure up there, and beating Gladiators 4-0 after I called the 4-0.
It still probably is beating Dallas full 4-0.
I'm probably gonna go with beating Gladiators 4-0 as well, just because I the teams that we were 4-0ing before them. Where people were just shrugging them off oh, these are bad teams. Of course they're gonna 4-0 them. But I feel going into Gladiators, we expected a lot out of them. So being able to actually beat them 4-0 as well really asserted our spot as actually being the dominant team that we know we are.
Why the gallon hat?
Anyone want to answer this? I have no answer.
Don't mess with Texas.
We're the true kings of Texas.
How are you planning on spending your days off between stage 1 and stage 2?
We're going to take it easy for a few days. We deserve the time off, I think. And then we're going to get back to the grind. We're going to figure out the new meta. We got a lot of work to do still, so we're going to keep going as hard as we've been going in stage 1.
Yeah, like I said, I think everyone's going to take a bit of time off, but then we're probably still going to end up playing Overwatch all day anyway. So still trying to get better, still trying to improve, and just be the best we can for stage 2.
I think I'm gonna go to a spa and a zoo with my girlfriend, and then I'll just stream.
I mean, I'm not going home or anything, so I'm probably just gonna keep grinding. Like,
What are Banny's thoughts on the Sombra changes that might happen?
Right now, I'm not sure if they've changed it recently, but like the first thing that they released, it felt like it was too big of a nerf for the changes that they made as like a buff. So right now, I think that if they don't like make her better in any way, then she might still be like just really bad. But I think it's a pretty good change overall, because the whole like idea of her gaining ult from health packs is really weird, and it came to some weird strats where your team would just pretend to be AFK so that they could take damage and then go heal and then get EMP up. So I think it's a good change. They just need to make sure that she stays as a strong and useful hero.
Will you guys do any fancy walk-ins like Mayhem?
I don't think so.
I mean, not really. I don't know. It's not something that we really have put a big priority on as a team. I think part of that is that we're like super focused on match day. It's like a very different energy on match day than any other day and any other time really for us. So I think for us, like keeping that energy and that focus is super important, and thinking about anything else than just like exactly what you practice, exactly how you want to play, it's just a distraction. So for me, I think beyond like really minor stuff like the 10-gallon hat, I think it's I don't know, not a huge priority for us.
The only time I would do any kind of walking is in finals. Like if you win a stage and you go into finals, then you have like a bit of extra time to prepare for your opponents and maybe a walk-in. You have anything?
How does it feel knowing you might be underrated going into stage 2? There's been a lot of talk, including casters, saying that you're only going to be good on the stage 1 meta, and stage 2 you might struggle.
I mean, like people think that we're going to be weaker on stage 2 because we're so good at this meta, but that doesn't stop us from being good at other metas too, right? Like we're grinding the heroes that are good right now because they're good, and we're going to grind the heroes that become good once that meta develops as well.
Okay. Like the stupidest thing I've heard any player say so far, by far, is the fact that they aren't good in this meta because of certain heroes, and next meta they will be good. That just seems lazy. That's like we grind really hard. Like Jake grinds Junkrat every day, on top of like the other heroes too, and I don't know.
in the wise words of my good friend Cool Matt, everyone has the same tools available to them. It's just being able to utilize them to like the maximum potential that you can. And I feel like we really figured out how to do that with a lot of the heroes in the first stage, and I'm sure that we all share the same mentality and the same drive. So we're going to be doing that for the next stage and the stages in the future for sure.
How does Jake like the meme culture surrounding him?
I'm still like really confused by it. Like, I mean, the meme, I guess the chat spam JLOLKE is like what started to like make fun of me, but then just became like a transcendent meme about anything involving Junkrat. And then people are now spamming it even when nobody's playing Junkrat and I'm not in the server. So I mean, like what it actually means is anybody's guess. I mean, so it's in the way that memes do. It's sort of become awash with meaning. There's too many meanings to really say what any one spam meme. So you gotta take the good with the bad and just treat it all as support.
It's become like C9, where people just say it because they can, like our humble.
What are your favorite fan posters that you've seen throughout stage 1?
Fan posters
In the crowd.
Oh, I thought I saw a Canada sign one time, but I didn't actually get to see it on stage. So I would have said that was my favorite, but I never actually got to see it. But Lynx's girlfriend makes some really good signs, so I like those ones.
a bunch of people have made like really nice posters like supporting me, but someone made a one that they did with like colored pencil, and they did it like, it was really beautiful, and they did like one of the gifts I use on my stream, and like had some Junkrat stuff in it, and it was supporting me. So that was like an awesome sign, because it showed that they were like really excited about what I'm doing and excited about the stream and Overwatch League.
It's weird if I choose my girlfriend's sign. It's like Finland's gift to esports. I think it's like the best sign.
That was a really good sign. It's a super good sign.
It's like sparkling on the camera. It's so
beautiful.
good.
I think my favorite signs are the ones that like tell me to play specific heroes or tell the players to play specific heroes, because it's really fun. It's really fun to just be able to like look out at the crowd, lock Symmetra, hear them all scream and get really happy, and like, hey team, you hear that? I should play Symmetra, right guys? And they're like, Muma, switch off, and I'm just like, look at him, you know. And yeah, it's really fun to like, you can like look at them and be like, see how happy they are, and then walk back into spawn and switch, and there's like, Winston again.
What is the best part about playing for the Outlaws?
Best part about playing for the Outlaws is the fans, for sure. It's, I didn't have much of a following before I got into Overwatch League, and it's just amazing, like, how much support I have, even though I have done so very little to cultivate the image.
The support is definitely huge, but for me, like, the number one thing I was thinking about when I was like trying to find an Overwatch League team was like the players I'd be playing with and the staff I'd be working with. So for me, it's like, being able to call these talented players my teammates, and also being able to work with, incredibly talented staff. The roster is just stacked from top to bottom. So that's, for me, is number one.
Yeah, I agree with Jake. I think there was like, when I was thinking about Overwatch League, I would wanted to work with a huge organization that was like in esports for a long time, not necessarily just Overwatch, and having to work with like such an amazing talented roster and coaches is amazing. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, just same here. It's just really nice to be working with such like-minded individuals who are just so talented and so grindy, I guess, and just who are willing to put in like all the hours that, like, I personally am just one of those people who is willing to just grind for hours and hours and hours every day, and everyone else on this roster has that same mentality, and it's just really nice and refreshing and helps push us to become better players.
Just to add, I would definitely agree with them. I didn't think of that answer very well.
Danny doesn't like us. We all know. It's okay. Just pass the mic.
I like my team too.
Pass the mic.
Danny just likes the fans.
Pass the mic.
Thanks for following me on Twitter. Who are these people?
Getting followed on Twitter is my all-time goal.
I don't care about this Overwatch League stuff.
Did you get like excited when a verified person followed you?
Not really. No.
I get excited by them.
Can you guys please sit Muma down and make him watch the Harry Potter movies? Thanks.
Okay.
You stay here and we put Harry Potter on our OLED.
This one goes out to Muma. What the hell is almond milk? Show me on the almond where you get the milk.
We have almond milk in the fridge.
Do I have to go grab
Should we
it?
go get an example?
You can go grab it. You can go grab it.
Just explain the almond milk to him.
Okay.
Tell the people about the almond milk.
I mean, it's just I don't like normal milk, and almond milk is good. That's just like it's I don't yeah, that's it. It's
really just that simple.
show me where the titty on an almond is. I don't know, man. I didn't know if I should say that in the mic or not. I don't know, man. I don't want to get in trouble.
Last
I don't think almonds have
Show me the titties on the almond.
Just milk like that.
last one. Can Banny do the outro?
Yes, I can do the outro. Thank you very much.
That's the boy.
Would you like an outro now? Okay. All right. Thank you guys for watching. This was the Houston Outlaws post-game press conference. I'm not going to name the players because I already did. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.